caller. I appreciate it. Now, Griff, I want to ask you something. Do you think, and this is just very candid, do you think Biggie was Diddy's sacrifice? Because I noticed how he blew up. I was thinking about all the people who died, you know what I'm saying, after, and then the people that were around them, certain individuals that were, let's say, in control of their careers, blew up tremendously right afterwards. I was wondering, I want to get your...
Yeah, well, let's not look at it like you have to sacrifice for someone for you to blow up, so to speak. Because if we look outside of hip-hop, Bill Cosby wanted to buy one of the networks.
Right.
And, his father died mysteriously. So mysterious that Michael Jordan's father, Bill Cosby's son.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then Michael Jordan's father died almost the same exact way in a car on the side of the road somewhere, right or wrong.
Right.
Now, is that a coincidence? Is Griff reaching or what? Someone called me the other day and said Tyler Perry's mom died. Does that have anything to do with him being in the position that he did? Well, we don't know. We haven't done the research on that yet. But they're not going to let you come in there, Tyler Perry, whoever he or she is really. He admitted that he had a hard time being Tyler Perry. He's more comfortable being Medea. And I explained earlier who Medea is, who the Medes are, right or wrong. They practice black and white magic. Are you following me?
Right.
So we have to understand, they're not going to let you be in that space, Tyler Perry. You're going to have to sacrifice somebody. Are you following me? So we have to understand that. So outside of music, outside of hip-hop, there's a lot of people that I think was sacrificed. I mean, if you really look at it, outside of hip-hop, I spoke about Jennifer Hudson. On how when we did the research on how her family was murdered, that was for killings.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was the only journalist actually allowed to interview Julian King's father. He wouldn't talk to nobody. He wouldn't talk to Chicago Tribune. He wouldn't talk to anybody. But I actually got that exclusive interview with him last year when all that stuff went down. And I kept thinking just the way that went down, I just started doing the mathematics on the whole thing. And I was like, man, something ain't right with that.
Well, my thing is, these tragic deaths of artists, be they sports artists or sports players rather, or R&B artists or hip-hop artists, we really have to take a close look into these things. Are you following me? If you study what Myron Fagan put down years ago on how the Illuminati operates, they control teachers and preachers and pastors and reverends. They control the teachers and professors on college campuses, the presidents and this kind of thing, and especially there in politics. And the thing is with them, they need to get something bad on you to hold over your head. And if you don't play ball, no, listen. If people that are listening to me think I'm making this up, right now if you're sitting in front of your computer, go in the left-hand corner and open up a new window and go into your search engine and look up a movie called Brotherhood of the Bell. Brotherhood of the Bell. Watch that movie. It's a black and white movie. I think some aspects of it is color. But watch that movie. It's the whole story of the Illuminati and how they work. And then call Professor Griff and you let me know what you think about the movie. 678-557-2919. Brotherhood of the Bell.
Someone asked in the chat room, he said, are you saying that Michael Jackson's death was a ritual?
Michael Jackson's last part of his whole entire life, Michael Jackson refused to be a part of it. That's one beautiful thing about Michael Jackson. I have issues with him wanting to be white and all that kind of stuff, but if you really listen to Michael Jackson and what he was saying in his songs and some of the speeches that he gave, Michael Jackson was actually fighting them. If you really listen, they wanted him to go through the homosexual ritual with the children by putting the children among him, but he refused to do it. And because he refused to do it and become part of their plan, they came against him. And then that's when they started calling him gay, jacko, all this kind of stuff, because they knew that he controlled the Beatles material and some of the other country artists' material. Are you following me? Elvis's material and some of the other people's publishing. But you got to understand, they sought out to destroy him, and they did kill him. I'm going to say that again in English. They killed Michael Jackson. Wow. Plain and simple. I don't care how weird you think the brother was. I don't care whether you took issue with him trying to be white or whatever else. You know, goddamn well, them blue-eyed, white damn baby, blonde-head, blue-eyed babies is not Michael Jackson's. Are you following me?
Right.
They was trying to bring Michael Jackson through a ritual that he refused to take part in. Him and Prince had hooked up, was collaborating on some things. Guess what the Illuminati said? No, no, no. You gentlemen cannot be seen together. You cannot do concerts together. You cannot do X, Y, and Z together. Guess what else they told Michael Jackson that? They told Michael Jackson that about his sister Janet. Until he broke up his script and did the video and the song with her, they started coming after Michael Jackson then. Are you following me? Listen close, man. Listen close to what Michael Jackson was saying in his songs and some of the moves that he made. He was calling them outright devils. And in certain interviews, he said, no, I can't really say too much because they're listening. They're watching. They're trying to destroy me. Well, who was the data thing he was talking about? Are you following me? Right. And then they set up the black man to be his physician and to be his caretaker. And isn't it ironic that the black man is responsible for killing another black man? You see how they work?
That's how they do it, though. That's how they do it. It's always that way. I try to explain to people, if you study the history, it's always one of us that does the actual act, and there's always somebody behind the scenes that's pulling the strings. I've been saying that since the Malcolm X days. I was like, y'all got to, study the history. Nobody chooses to acknowledge that, or they disconnect from it, or a lot of the youth are just not knowledgeable about that information. But you're absolutely right. This has been going on for a very long time.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what they tried to do to me recently. You remember Sam Cooke?
Yes, I remember Sam Cooke.
Sam Cooke was the one that wanted his own distribution. Sam Cooke fought them to get the control of his masters, his own music, to do his own business, to put out his own records. They set him up. They said with a prostitute. She was an agent that he invited her to his hotel room, and she ended up shooting him to death. Then they turned around and lied and said he committed suicide.
Wow.
So what they do, brothers and sisters, they match your frequency. They'll groom that person for years, and they'll send that person in your path, and she or he will be exactly what you've been looking for. So I get the conscious sister with the locks, eating fucking couscous and goddamn tofu that come up next to me. Peace, brother. Kiss my damn ass. The fuck out of my damn face. I ain't falling for that madness. I'm not falling for it. Y'all got to try another trick. You understand what I'm saying? You're going to end up getting hurt, and your ass going to get hurt. And I'm not falling for that. Are you following me?
Right. Well, now let me ask you this. Now, since you brought that up, let's get into a little bit of problem resolutions to the problem. How is one able to look? What are we to look for? I heard you say agents and things of that nature. Lord knows I've had my share of certain things happening, around me. How does one know what to look for when they're on this type of a path? Because I'm certainly someone who's out there trying to get the information out to my people as much as possible, especially in these trying times.
Well, first of all, I think in the mating process and trying to get to know someone, we have to walk 4 seasons with them. That's a year.
Right.
Are you following me? And then we have to know and understand certain basic things, man, that we see in people. We know what our culture is like. We know what kind of language we use. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
We know what's what when we use slang. They call it ebonics. But we know how to communicate with one another, verbal and nonverbal communication. Are you following me?
Yeah.
So we know what that is. We know when people come among us that are brand new. We know how to school people. Now, all you got to do is listen to your inner self, which I call the God self.
Right.
And it'll tell you ain't nothing spooky. You know when a person ain't right. Are you following me?
Right.
You know when to keep certain people away from you. So we just got to listen to the God self. That's all that is being in tune with one another. But what do I mean when I say they match your frequency? They know you. They know you coming in the name of ISIS. They already know what you're about. They hear you on your radio station. Listen, the fine, handsome dude, well-built, dark-skinned brother, conscious, shooting on a tie stick, carrying a couple of conscious books around. You understand what I'm saying? Take you out to dinner to the finest vegetarian restaurants and shit. That shit only lasts for a minute, because if you really watch them, they'll break from the script. Are you following me?
Right.
So we have to understand that kind of thing. I'm not talking about the good people that are out there that's trying to live a righteous, conscious lifestyle. I'm not talking about them. And Lord knows I'd like to meet one of them sisters, but nonetheless, sisters, he's saying, Griff, you're a bit too much for me, brother. He said, he's carrying some women off. No, I'm just real about this. Let me tell you, man, my last marriage, I've been married twice. My last marriage, my wife left me on my damn deathbed. So sisters that are out there, you don't think that's something to keep my guard up about? I'm not guarded, but nonetheless, damn. I'm laying next to this woman every goddamn night thinking she got my back. She started saying things like, honey, do you have to sleep with the gun under the pillow? And what is this strange mail that you're getting that gets you so upset? And who are these people sitting outside the door? And who are these people down the street in the van with the tinted windows? You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Well, hey, before I married you, I told you about all this shit. You were the one that took the vows. So if you're not built for this shit, hey, do your thing. Sure enough, I ended up on a slab in Wilmington, England, paralyzed from the waist down, and she broke the fuck out.
Wow.
Now, y'all tell me, here I am in a group called Public Enemy, not Public Friend, bringing the noise, man, calling these people out, putting it down. All of a sudden, I wake up, and these brothers are doing press conferences talking against me, talking bad about me. Russell Simmons called me a stage prop. I'm like, huh? I'm like, oh, okay. Leading me out to dry. Okay, cool. No problem. Y'all tell me. Now, mind you, I ain't talking about some brothers I just met. I grew up with these brothers. The S1Ws, I trained myself. And if somebody to turn on you like that, something is up. Are you following me?
Right.
Once again, for the brothers in Public Enemy that I got love for and they know it, since then, some of them have apologized to one another and we've mended those damn fences. For those that are still in Public Enemy that I got to see every week, that still plotting against me, shame on you. But we're going to smoke your black ass out in a minute. Plain and damn simple.
I got another caller that just called in. Mercavelli, 1873, bro. You're on the air. You got a question for Professor Griff?
Yo, what's up? I really ain't got a question for brother Professor Griff. I've been listening to your music all my life, basically. You're a dope brother. Keep on doing what you're doing. I've been following you on YouTube for about the last 6 months. I'm glad that you just, putting out your stuff, man.
Oh, good thanks, man. I really appreciate that. But I just want to say to you, man, I'm 49 years old, man. I've been putting this stuff out for a long time. I'm happy that people like yourself, ISIS, and some of the other people that's calling in and listening, I'm happy for this day because I couldn't get this damn many people to listen to me. I used to do lectures, man, and 20 people would show up. Are you following me?
Wow.
So I'm thankful, seriously. I'm thankful for the opportunity to talk to some people. I do have to apologize in most cases for the manner in which I bring this across because I'm responsible for this particular truth. I own it. And I'm responsible for the way I deliver it. Are you following me? And I don't want the people to hear my raspy voice, hear me talking kind of, boastful and tough, and think that I'm a tough guy. That's not me. That's not people that are out there that are listening to my voice that know me. I'm a jovial person, man. I tell jokes, kick it, have fun, do whatever, but I know and understand what the truth is, and I'm not going for it. You know why? Because our babies' lives at stake, man. Did you see what happened recently with this H1N1, H1N5 stuff that was going on?
Over the Ukraine, you mean?
No, I'm talking about the Hispanic one, nigger one virus.
Oh. No, what's going on?
You see, they put it out. It wasn't strong enough. They recalled it.
Yeah.
And then they put the implantable biomicrochip in it, and then they